What are the pros and cons of living in Roanoke County?
Well, we're going to tell you all about those today. Hey, I'm Hal, and this is Chris here with Cone Realty Group. I wanted to say thanks for stopping by today, and if you find value in this content, please make sure you like and subscribe.
And if you're thinking about buying a home here, please give us a call, shoot us a text. We'd be honored to have a conversation and be your realtor.
Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of living in Roanoke County, Virginia. If you're considering a move to Roanoke County, this video is for you, and make sure you stay to the end because you don't want to miss a single minute.
That's right, and we've been helping a lot of families move here from the Pacific Northwest, from Texas, Arizona, California, Florida, and you know what? Roanoke County is always on top of their list.
Yeah, and one of the reasons probably for that is going to be that recently in 2022, Roanoke County was actually nominated as a top 133 healthiest communities by U.S. News and World Report. Man, that was a whole lot to get out, but it's an amazing place to live.
Be sure to check out our other videos on the accolades and awards of our valley because it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. Where is Roanoke County? Well, it's situated in the southwestern part of Virginia in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's actually surrounding the city of Roanoke and Salem. So Roanoke and Salem are in the middle, and Roanoke County borders the entire thing, kind of like in a ring or a donut, like I like to say, because I love donuts.
Krispy Kreme or Dunkin'?
I like Krispy Kreme. I mean, it's traditional glazed yumminess.
Anytime you see that fresh hot now sign, what happens?
I would love to stop. I don't, but I would love to. But, you know, it varies in character because it's so expansive. And so you could talk about the north, the south, the east, the west. It's all a little different depending on where you are, but it's all beautiful.
Yeah, and if you're talking about Roanoke County proper, the population is about 96,000 people, and we're going to dive into education, the cost of living today, outdoors, the outdoor life, community, things to do, and sports. Let's go.
All right, let's start with the pros, but make sure you stick around to the end where you hear about some of the cons of Roanoke County as well. First of all, I want to start with education because we work with a lot of families and education is at the very top of their list. Make sure you do your own research and find out what's important and best for your family.
So we've gathered some data for you from greatschools.org, also from schooldigger.com. And here's the analysis that we've been able to find for you to make it super simple. So Roanoke County has some of the best schools in the state with an overall rating of 8 out of 10 on greatschools.org.
Yeah, and a closer look at the school district in Roanoke County, according to schooldigger.com. There are 22 public schools in Roanoke County, and that serves over 14,000 students.
Yeah, School Digger actually gives it a 4 out of 5 stars. So, you know, between Great Schools and School Digger, we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Roanoke County.
Very highly rated. And some of the top rated schools in the county include Hidden Valley High School, go Titans, Glenvar High School, go Highlanders, and Cave Spring High School, go Knights.
Yeah, and the graduation rate is over 95%, and the students have performed very well on the standardized test.
That's awesome. Hey, let's not forget about Hollins University. That's situated in Roanoke County too on a beautiful campus. I love walking that campus.
Yeah, it's so pretty, absolutely.
It is, it really is. But it's a private university. They have about 800 students, undergraduate and graduate, but undergraduate is female only. The next category is cost of living. And compared to other parts of Virginia, the cost of living in Roanoke County is relatively low. That's great news.
Yeah, and our unemployment rate is low in Roanoke County as well. It's a 3.6%, which is slightly lower than the national average.
Yeah, and there's steady growth in the area as a whole. And there are a lot of like shops, restaurants, retail, and various amenities that you can go to.
Yeah, and we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about housing, right? So the housing types are like single family, multifamily. You got townhouses, and you have condos as options in Roanoke County.
And I always like talking about the styles, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And here's the house of the week.
I know, yes, I love that. If you haven't seen my house of the week, I just go out and find my favorite house based on architecture or style or just the unusual.
Whatever speaks to her at the moment that week.
That's right. And you get a tour of it, so
Yes.
you can pretend to be a realtor and see the inside of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
so what type are you going to see?
You know, there's a lot of different types here. That's what I like about it. And again, it depends on what area you're in that donut. And so you can find ranches with a basement, split foyer homes, contemporary. There's little pockets of contemporary homes that I love, stately colonials, and a whole lot more.
So with those various styles, let's talk about the actual average sales price here in the Roanoke Valley right now. We're in the mid 200s for Roanoke County, which is going to be less than the national average in most markets, to be honest with you. So very favorable conditions when it comes to the purchasing power of a home here in the Roanoke Valley, because you're going to get like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, under 2,000 square feet for that mid 250 price range.
And we typically see appreciation in this area as well. As we mentioned, it is a pretty desirable area, which is high on people's list, so you don't have to worry about depreciation in most cases.
Absolutely.
All right, the next category is my personal favorite, which is outdoor activities. And Roanoke County is known for so many of their beautiful parks and trails, which I think equals a better quality of life.
It does, and I think a lot of people that are moving here are moving here for outdoor amenities and that lifestyle, and that equates to quality of life whenever we're talking to them via Zoom, right? So anytime you need help, make sure you schedule a Zoom with us, and we'd love to have that conversation. But also, we have the Appalachian Trail as well as the Blue Ridge Parkway that runs right through Roanoke County. And you can check out videos that we've got about the Blue Ridge Parkway right here.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, to have that right in our backyard is simply incredible. We are so blessed. It's beautiful. And so some of the top parks in Roanoke County include Explorer Park and Carvin's Cove Natural Reservoir. Let's talk about that a little bit, because there's so much to offer. Like Explorer Park, you can do just about anything there, right?
Yeah.
There's camping. There's you can do the water. You can do tubing. Thank you. You can do tubing. You can hike for miles, mountain bike. You can even, there's a brewery there.
There's a brew pub right there, so you can eat and drink and just hang out for the day right on site at Explorer Park. There's like over 1,000 acres there, right?
I think so. Yeah, we should know that. But you know what? One of the biggest appeals right now is Treetop Quest, which is an aerial adventure. Every time we go out there, they're adding new things. They have zip lines and just amazing rope course, and I will never probably ever get on it, but I love that people do, and I will watch and cheerlead you on the sidelines.
And let's go from Explorer Park to Carvin's Cove. And Carvin's Cove is best known for being the East Coast mountain biking capital of the U.S. So it's pretty stinking awesome, to be honest with you. So, but not only can you mountain bike there with miles and miles of trails, you can horseback ride there, you can kayak, you can fish, you name it. You can just spend a day there just having an amazing time in God's great beauty out there.
Yeah, and they have equestrian trails as well there. I've taught both my girls how to kayak there. I was so excited to learn how to kayak at Carvin's Cove. It's just simply gorgeous. You hear that over and over again. But anytime you have this beautiful lake surrounded by mountains, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, and I also wanted to mention here, it just hit me that, we're not too far from Smith Mountain Lake. So, Roanoke County, you're probably 40 to 45 minutes, depending on what part of the county you're in, to get to Smith Mountain Lake for those wonderful outdoor activities of wakeboarding, skiing, just boating, fishing down there. So let's not forget about that. It's not in Roanoke County, but you're a hot skip and a jump to Smith Mountain Lake if you're living in Roanoke County.
So the next category is community. I think that Roanoke County, and we've heard this from clients that have moved here, is really full with friendly people who are always willing to lend a hand.
Yeah, absolutely. So Southern hospitality is alive and well here in the Roanoke Valley, and that means we've got manners. So you've got yes ma'am, yes sir, please, thank you, those types of things. You hear it from the kids, you hear it from, if you go and get some sweet tea somewhere, it's going to be like, hey sugar, what do you want to drink, right? Or hey honey, thanks for being here today. So those are the types of things you can expect. Holding the door, right? So, if you're walking up to the store, you're going to have somebody pull that door open for you. Don't be shocked. Go right on in and just give them a smile and say thank you. And then you've got, ladies are going to go first. Just being kind, and even the drivers are kind around here.
That was so funny. We had clients visiting here, and they said even your drivers are nice. They're a little slow sometimes.
Even for me, I'm like, goodness gracious, does anybody work during the middle of the day anymore? All the Pokemons are out.
It does. It is funny, but and what I like about this area is I think it's pretty easy to develop a community and a group of friends. It really depends on what what you're looking for, because there's lots of interest groups. I mean, there's even like moms that hike, moms that craft. There's dads, stay-at-home dads. And for every stage and season of your life, there's going to be something here for you. So we encourage you to join something, an interest group that's interesting to you. I mean, even the libraries, South Carolina County Library is amazing. And
I was just talking to my about the other day, because it's like they just got a job there. They were like, this is like the most perfect library ever as far as location, and then you've got the trails that you can walk around right there. So, you know, they get to work, they get to take a break, go outside, see nature, and then come back inside. So you do the same as far as go check out some books, then go out in nature and just read some books.
And they have lots of community programs, so that's just one little subsect. But you can take advantage of a ton of opportunities, even volunteering, giving back to the community. That is a great way to build your own community and your little village.
Yeah, and that's super welcomed here. You know, that's one of the things that a lot of our clients will ask us, like, hey, when I move there, you know, what do people think about, quote, strangers into the valley, right?
Or outsiders.
Or outsiders into the Roanoke County area, right? And it's like, every client that's moved here has said, man, we feel so welcomed by our neighbors. So it's like, you're more than likely going to have somebody come over and knock on your door, and they're going to give you brownies, or going to say, welcome to the neighborhood, or, hey, can I help you move that thing inside the door when they see you moving? So don't be surprised if you move here and everybody's super welcoming in your neighborhood.
And you know what? That brings me to another thought. Like, we've heard over and over again, one of the best ways to get to know your neighbor, get a dog and start walking the dog, because neighbors are important. And not only can they look after your house when you're gone or just during the daytime, but also, you know, you may need something and they could give you referrals as well, like hairdresser or groomer or whatever it is. But just to have that connection and find out what's going on in your neighborhood, that gives me a real peace of mind. Let's talk about things to do now. I feel like there's a lot of things to do in Roanoke County. That's why I really like it. But we often joke that if you're bored, it's your own fault, because there's always something going on.
There is, and so one of the things that's always going on in season are going to be local farmers markets. You've got one in Vinton, you've got one in South County. So you're going to have an opportunity to be able to actually get fresh produce, fresh meats, flowers, those types of things at the farmers markets. And you've got some music festivals, cultural events, like the Vinton Dogwood Festival, which is going to be the 68th running of that this year.
That's amazing. Yeah, great history behind that Dogwood Festival too. I encourage you to check it out. I think we have a video on Vinton. That's a municipality in and of itself, actually, within Roanoke County. So it has a lot to offer. We have a video on that. Please check it out. So let's talk about restaurants. And I've got the food one this time.
Oh, how'd that happen? If y'all know anything about us, I'm the one always talking about food, because I like to eat more than she does.
I do. I just like variety. So that's another thing. There's a lot of restaurants to choose from. You could do Southern cooking and burgers at Dogwood Restaurant in Vinton. You could do Cast Pints and Plates in Cave Spring. Cafe Asia for sushi. Yum. So lots of variety, lots of diversity. I really like that a lot.
Yeah, let's talk about shopping again, like your traditional shopping, right? So we've got Tanglewood Mall, that's in South Roanoke County, along with many of the boutiques, as well as some home decor and gift shops. So, you know, Roanoke as a whole, we've got Valley View Mall, which is in Roanoke City, but that's kind of on the north side of town. You've got Tanglewood Mall, as I mentioned, in South Roanoke County. And we've got a lot of boutique and smaller types of places for you to shop too, so you can support local, because we love supporting small businesses here in the Roanoke Valley.
We're big on that, of course. And let's not forget about Holland University. You know, I love their addition to the community. They offer a lot of cultural enrichment to this area, so be sure to check that out. Let's talk about sports in Roanoke County, specifically high school sports teams. They have a lot of strong traditions in the high school sports arena, with several championship teams in various sports.
Yeah, we're just going to give you just a small little sampling of the greatness of some of the teams that are included in Roanoke County. So you've got the Hidden Valley High School football team, you've got the Glenboro High School girls basketball team, the Northside boys basketball team, and the Cave Spring High School swimming team. All are like really good.
Yeah, and they've won several state championships over the years and just have a strong tradition of excellence. So I think about this being an elite area for sports, and sports are big in the South, you know.
Yeah, and along with that, I mean, I also, like we said in the very beginning, great when it comes to the education system too, right? So the rankings are high there. So you've got sports that are at a high level, and you've got the education system itself at a high level. So that's going to be something that's probably appealing to you, right?
Yeah, and the facilities across the county are really nice. So I think they've done an excellent job with that. Let's talk about Roanoke County Parks and Rec. They actually partner with 11 recreational clubs offering competitive youth sports leagues for kids ages 6 to 18.
Yeah, we were just talking about that as far as the Parks and Rec League over in Roanoke County. Even though you grew up in Roanoke City for some reason, which is kind of weird to me, but maybe not to you. You actually played in Roanoke County when it came to Little League, right?
Yes, softball. Yeah, I'm a product of Roanoke County Parks and Rec. I started when I was in T-ball and worked my way up. I think I probably played through, I don't know, maybe when I started middle school is when I stopped. But it was an awesome program, and I have so many great memories. My uncles were coaching, my dad was coaching, and that's how I learned all about softball. And now our kids are playing. And we played at Penn Forest, which is a beautiful little facility. And I'll never forget, like when we went back there and filmed, we had trips down memory lane.
Yep, so you got the fields that she played on are still there, right behind Penn Forest Elementary, right across the street from the South County Library. So it's an idyllic little spot and a great place for the little leaguers to come up. There's tennis courts there too. So I mean, you got tons of and Starkey Park's not too far from there for soccer. I mean, you name it. You got options for sports, whether it's rec or actually super competitive in Roanoke County.
So let's look at the cons now of living in Roanoke County, because as we're all aware, there is no perfect place.
What?
I know. It's just not possible. But here's some drawbacks that you'll want to keep in mind and do a little bit more research to see if it's a negative impact for you and your family. The first one that comes to mind is traffic. There is a high volume of traffic when we're talking about the rush hour. So that's pretty typical of what you're thinking of, right? Rush hour, there's going to be high volume.
Yes.
You're going to really want to pay attention to that Tanglewood corridor 419 and also 460 towards Lynchburg and Botetourt. Boy, that can get congested sometimes.
Yeah, it kind of depends on where you are in Roanoke County by all means, but you heard me say earlier in the video that sometimes it's like you got pokey people in the middle of the day that drive me absolutely bonkers on 4-lane highways. I'm like, come on now, move over, get on that left lane.
A speed demon.
And they just refuse to do it. But anyways, yeah, so rush hour can be a little bit challenging, but it's all a matter of perspective, right? Like she said earlier, it's like, if you're from Atlanta, like where we were at one point in time, it's like the traffic around here during rush hour, not that bad.
No.
Just you just have to make the mental shift to like, okay, I'm in rush hour, no big deal. I'll get there maybe 5 minutes later. So instead of 20 minutes, it takes you 25 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Right?
And you can adjust. I mean, leave a little bit earlier or schedule your work times differently. Take a different route.
Yeah, you got multiple route options.
That's true.
Yeah.
The second con sometimes we hear about living in Roanoke County is going to be limited job opportunities. So because it's a relatively small community, job opportunities can be a little bit more limited, especially if you're looking for something in a specific career, if you're really specialized.
Yeah, but the good news is that it's an easy commute around here to other parts of the valley, right? So if you're living in Roanoke County, you can go into Roanoke City. If you're living in Roanoke County, you can go into Salem City. You can go to Blacksburg. You have people that actually commute up here from Martinsville. So it's a commuter-friendly area so that, you can get the job that you're looking for to be able to provide for your family. You can work from home.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Or you can enjoy that retired life. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Woohoo.
There are a lot of retired people that are coming to us, and this is where they want to be. And I can't blame them, especially for an active lifestyle. When you're retired, it's an awesome option. The third one is going to be safety, because I'm kind of a
scaredy cat.
Scaredy cat.
You better say that for
At
you.
times,
Can you say that
thank
out
you.
loud?
I can't even admit it. But safety is always top of mind for people, and you really want to live somewhere that you feel safe.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, you're going to need to do your due diligence, right? It's like, we definitely feel safe ourselves here. You know, it's not a big deal to us when it comes to crime and all that stuff. But, you know, you can read things online. You can go to mommy groups. You can go to crimemapping.org. You can go to Spot Crime. But you're gonna need to be responsible for doing your own due diligence.
Right.
We can give you our perspective and what we feel, of course. But, you know, for the most part, you know, safety is not a big concern, but it's definitely something that you're going to take into account when you're making this decision.
Yeah, and there have been instances of crime in recent years. So I think, like you said, just do your research, find out what you're comfortable with, and just be aware, no matter where you are. If it's Roanoke County or the middle of the desert, be aware of your surroundings and just pay attention.
Yeah. Just compare well.
Yes.
Right. All right, so the fourth con could actually be average home price, right? So relatively speaking, in Roanoke County, we've got a lower cost of living than the national average, right? So that's great news. However, in parts of Roanoke County, you are going to see housing prices be a little bit higher than other municipalities here in the Roanoke Valley, just because it's more desirable area. More people are moving there, so you've got higher prices.
Yeah,
you
that's
it's
a good point.
location, right? So if that's the case, then you're going to pay a little bit more, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, and there are some really beautiful homes and lots, and overall, you're going to probably see an appreciation in your home. Prices are not going to drop drastically, so that's good news.
Yeah, we're kind of incubated here in the Roanoke Valley in general, especially Roanoke County, as far as like, we're not going to see those really drastic dips, like exponential dips. So you're going to be okay if you buy a house in Roanoke County.
Absolutely.
And then let's talk about number 5. Let's talk about weather, right? So guess what? We have 4 seasons here. Yes, we do. And we love it. But that does mean in the wintertime, it can get a little cold.
Yes.
Just had a client move here from Arizona, and we were like in the single digits, which is it does not happen that
Right.
often, but it does. They're like, is it always this cold in the winter? Well, you're gonna have some snow, you're gonna have some single digits or double digits, and it's gonna be okay because that's why you're moving here, right? And then in the summer, it gets hot and humid. So you're going to have some of that as well, but I think that's a good thing because that way you get to experience every single season to its full potential.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, it's all comparative and relative, I should say. I mean, it's not like the Georgia heat, right?
No.
Where he's from, I could not survive
Southwest
there.
Georgia, on the way below the gnat line, you got gnats, you got humidity, you got sweat. I mean, no matter what you do, you can't get cold.
And you Texas folks, I feel for you. We hear from a lot of you. I get it. Come on down.
That's right. Come on over.
But you know what? I mean, like you said earlier, I really love the 4 seasons. Fall is certainly our signature season, I think, because the leaves on the mountains are just vibrant and gorgeous, and it's just picturesque throughout the whole valley. Our spring is really lovely. Everything comes to life. Lots of flowering trees. And then summer is great. You can go to Smith Mountain Lake or a pool, or there's so many creeks and rivers. Yes, we hang out in them. We fish in them. We just wade in them. It's a lot of fun. And tubing, the James River.
Tubing, yeah. They actually have in Franklin County, they've got a nighttime tubing that you can do with the lights over the actual river.
I think that is so cool, so unique.
So did we spin that con into a positive for you, maybe?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, a lot of our clients are seeking things like that. I do want to touch on the winter because usually we have pretty mild winters. They're very unpredictable, but if we get like 10 inches of snow, that's almost unheard of. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it. The town shuts down and we have hot cocoa and go sledding. But they do a great job of infrastructure, clearing the roads and pre-treating them and things too.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So let's jump into the last con, number 6, which is going to be a limited nightlife, right? So, Roanoke County in general is a relatively small community, so nightlife options may be limited, especially if you're looking for, the big city atmosphere. It's like when we were in Atlanta, it's like you could walk out your door and there was something to do somewhere at night, right? Nightlife was booming there.
That was fun.
Yeah.
We're kind of out of the party stage.
If you haven't noticed.
We're most definitely out of the party
That's right.
stage. But if that is still your thing, that's great. You just may need to travel into Roanoke City for a more active nightlife. There's lots to choose from there.
Yeah, there is. You can take an Uber, you can take a Lyft, because we do have those around here.
Yeah.
They can take you into Roanoke City. You can hang out, you can party, take an Uber or Lyft back home, back to Roanoke County, and you're going to be in good shape.
If you're thinking about moving to Roanoke County, please schedule a Zoom call and let's talk about you, your family, and your situation.
Yeah, we can help you decide what's the best plan based on your price, your job, your interest, and more.
And our job is really to help you find a great home. And let's say you're worried about the market or interest rates or appreciation. We encourage you to actually capitalize on the market now. And instead of renting, where you're going to have to move twice anyways, consider buying a smaller home.
You'll be able to build equity while you get to know the area, and then you can sell or use it as an investment property, which we highly recommend at a later date, and then we can help you find your home sweet home after you know exactly where you want that to be here.
So if you're moving here in the next week, month, or year, give us a call, text us, or email us, and we'll help you make it as smooth of a process to living in Roanoke County as possible.
Let's get you home, Roanoke County.